Something has changed in the world of Outlander, something big. The whispers of time are louder than ever, and they speak of a season that could break every heart still beating for Claire and Jamie. Rumors are spreading like wildfire. A mysterious traveler, a broken timeline, and a reunion no one saw coming. Season 8 isn't just the final chapter, it's the reckoning of everything they've fought, loved, and lost. And if the leaked trailer is anything to go by, we're not ready for what's coming next. Outlander Season 8 has officially become the most anticipated finale of the decade, and not just because it's the end of Claire and Jamie's story, but because of how it's ending. The leaked trailer that surfaced online for just a few hours before vanishing sent fans into an emotional frenzy. In those brief moments, we saw glimpses of storms, battlefields, and a shadowed figure standing at Frasers Ridge. But the most haunting part wasn't the chaos. It was Jamie's voice. "Every man has two deaths," he said softly. "The one when he stops breathing, and the one when his name is spoken for the last time." That single line has ignited endless speculation. Is this Jamie's farewell? According to early rumors, the story picks up right after the events of Season 7. The Revolutionary War is closing in on Fraser's Ridge, and the peace Claire and Jamie once fought to protect now feels like an illusion. Claire, torn between her duties as a healer and her fears as a wife, begins to sense that something, or someone, is shifting time itself. Letters, maps, and strange symbols start appearing, carrying messages that shouldn't exist in their era. One of them reads, "Time doesn't forget what love remembers." Fans believe this message could be from Henry, the lost figure believed to have vanished through the stones generations ago. What's most shocking is that leaked set reports claim an older man, unknown to the Ridge community, arrives seeking Claire. His words, "Mrs. Fraser, it's been a long time." The tone in his voice, filled with recognition and disbelief, matches the final moment in the leaked trailer where Claire's eyes widen and she whispers, "Is it possible?" The fandom exploded after that line, convinced this man could be Henry, her long-lost father. But if that's true, it changes everything we know about the Fraser legacy. The time loops, the lineage, and even Claire's very existence could be at risk. Because if Henry has found his way to her, the timeline itself might be collapsing. Some theories even suggest this mysterious meeting isn't by accident, but rather a call of destiny. The stones may not just transport people through time anymore. They could be calling them back one last time. Meanwhile, Jamie feels the weight of his choices catching up with him. He's haunted by the ghosts of those who've died for him, Murtagh, Dougal, and even the soldiers who followed him into impossible battles. The teaser shows him standing in the rain, his hand over his heart, whispering something to Claire that fans couldn't quite make out. Many believe he says, "I've already seen the end." Could Jamie be facing a vision of what's to come, or worse, his own death? The emotional tone of the trailer is undeniably dark. Gone are the sweeping landscapes of peace and romance. In their place stand torches, thunder, and the echo of drums, the same drums that once heralded war. Yet through the chaos, one thing stands strong: the love between Claire and Jamie. Even in the rumored voiceover leak, Claire's voice trembles as she says, "I've lost so many people to time. I won't lose him too." That single line defines what Season 8 is all about: love fighting against the clock. The production team behind Outlander has kept every detail under tight lock, but insiders close to the set claim that this season will connect directly with the prequel Blood of My Blood. That connection could finally explain how the stones truly work and why Claire's family has been tied to them for generations. Matthew B. Roberts, the showrunner, even teased in an old interview that the final season will close every circle but open one last door. That statement alone hints at something bigger than a simple goodbye, and maybe that's the real message of Season 8. That time travel was never about escaping history. It was about rewriting what was never meant to be lost. For Claire and Jamie, this means confronting the truth that love doesn't end with time. It begins there. The question isn't if they'll survive, but how far they'll go to protect the world they built from falling apart. As the screen fades in the leaked trailer, the final words appear. Every love leaves a mark. Some last forever. And that, more than anything, tells us that Outlander Season 8 will not be just an ending, it will be a legend carved in time. If the first half of the Outlander Season 8 trailer was about emotion and memory, the second half is pure mystery and fear. The whispers of time grow louder, echoing through every frame. A single line from Claire shakes everything we thought we knew. The stones are changing. Those words hint at something far more dangerous than time travel, something that even she, after all her years of experience, cannot control. Rumors from the leaked production notes suggest that the stones, the same ones that carried Claire between centuries, have begun to behave differently. No longer just portals, they seem to have a pulse, a will, almost as if they remember everyone who has ever touched them. The strange symbols seen in the trailer, the ones carved into the stones, could be warnings, or perhaps invitations. One symbol in particular caught fans' attention: two intertwined circles, burning faintly. A sign, many say, of two timelines merging into one. This might explain the blurred, flickering imagery seen during the trailer's closing shots. Brief flashes of modern cars, 18th century weapons, and faces from both timelines overlapping. It's as if time itself is bleeding through the cracks. And right in the center of it all stands Claire, holding a letter that appears far too new to belong to her world. The voiceover says, "If you are reading this, it means I have found you again." Fans immediately connected this to the mysterious figure from Section 1, the man calling Claire Mrs. Fraser. If that truly is Henry, her father, then this letter might be his way of guiding her towards something monumental, maybe even the secret to controlling the stones. The possibility that he has been communicating across centuries brings an entirely new dimension to the story. After all, Claire has always believed in the science behind time travel. But this would make it personal. Meanwhile, Jamie's struggle takes a darker turn. His loyalty to his people, his family, and his faith begins to tear him apart. A new threat rises, not from soldiers or warlords, but from within his own camp. According to one leak, a young soldier under Jamie's command discovers an artifact buried near the ridge, a silver medallion with inscriptions similar to the symbols on the stones. When he wears it, strange things begin to happen. Whispers in the night, shadows moving against the light, and the feeling that history is rewriting itself. Jamie warns him to destroy it, but the soldier disappears before he can. And that disappearance, fans speculate, could be the beginning of the collapse. The trailer hints that Claire and Jamie's final journey will not just be across battlefields, but through the fabric of time itself. One scene reportedly shows Claire examining a map drawn in two sets of ink, one old, one new, representing two versions of history. When she places her hand on the map, the ink moves, connecting past and present. That image alone captures what Season 8 is building toward: the final convergence of love and destiny. But amidst all the time-bending chaos, the human heart of Outlander remains. The tenderness between Claire and Jamie still burns through every frame. In one haunting moment, Claire says softly, "I can heal the body, Jamie, but how do I heal time?" And Jamie, with that unshakable strength we've come to love, replies, "The same way we always have, together." It's intimate, poetic, and terrifying all at once, because it implies that love might be the only force left to mend what time has broken. There's also growing speculation that the season will revisit some of the most painful moments of their past, but through a different lens. A leaked casting call mentioned younger versions of familiar faces, hinting that we might see alternate timelines where decisions were made differently. Imagine Claire never returning to Jamie after Culloden. Imagine Brianna never being born. Imagine love itself rewritten. These aren't just what-ifs anymore. They could be fragments of realities bleeding into one another. And if that's true, then Season 8 is no longer just about how Outlander ends. It's about how everything began. The origin of the stones, the history of time travel, and the meaning behind the title, Blood of My Blood, all seem to point toward one revelation: the Frasers were never chosen by accident. They were bound to time itself. The bloodline is the key. Claire, Jamie, Brianna, They are the thread that keeps the past and future from unraveling completely. The final rumor, one that has fans both thrilled and terrified, is that Claire might be forced to make an impossible choice. To save Jamie, she may have to undo the very path that brought her to him. Some insiders describe a scene where she stands before the stones, tears streaming down her face, whispering, "If love made me cross time once, will love let me do it again?" That moment, if true, could be the emotional peak of the entire series, a test of everything Outlander has ever stood for. And yet, through all the heartbreak, there's a quiet strength in how the story seems to be coming full circle. Claire's voice echoes the sentiment that began this saga so many years ago, that time doesn't take everything away. It gives something back, too. Truth, closure, and the realization that even across centuries, love remains undefeated. The Outlander Season 8 trailer might not have revealed everything, but it gave us one clear promise, that this is not just an ending. It's the ultimate test of love against fate. And as fans, we know one thing for sure. Claire and Jamie have defied time before, and they just might do it again. The final act of Outlander Season 8 is where everything the series has ever built finally collides: love, fate, loss, and time itself. According to the whispers from set insiders, this season's ending will leave fans speechless. Not because it's simply sad or shocking, but because it feels inevitable, like destiny has been patiently waiting for this moment since the very first time Claire touched the stones. The leaked trailer's last 30 seconds, the part fans are obsessing over, begins in near silence. You hear only the soft crackle of fire, the echo of rain, and then Jamie's voice saying, "Even if time takes me, my heart will wait for you." Those words are followed by flashes of their past. Faces, places, memories. Not as flashbacks, but as living fragments twisting through time. It's as if the world itself is remembering them, one heartbeat at a time. Then, Claire's trembling reply cuts through everything. "And I will find you, even if I have to walk through every century." That line, simple, raw, eternal, sums up the entire soul of Outlander. Rumor suggests that the finale centers around Claire's desperate mission to set time right before it collapses. With Henry's sudden reappearance and the mysterious medallion discovered at the ridge, the fragile balance of timelines begins to crumble. The stones start to glow uncontrollably, opening portals across different eras. Villages vanish, memories shift, and the war that once belonged to the 18th century starts spilling into the modern world. Claire realizes the truth. Her father's arrival was not destiny. It was a warning. He crossed time not to reunite, but to tell her that their bloodline has become the anchor of time itself. And if she stays in the past any longer, the chain will finally break. The emotional climax unfolds in a scene that fans have been dreading yet expecting: the farewell between Claire and Jamie. It's set to happen at dawn, by the edge of the stones, surrounded by mist. Jamie, wounded but unbroken, holds Claire's face in his hands. "You gave me a life I never dreamed of," he says, his voice breaking. Claire shakes her head, whispering, "No, Jamie, you gave me time." That's the last full sentence between them before the stones begin to hum, pulling Claire backward through light and memory. As she disappears, Jamie falls to his knees, and the screen cuts to black. But here's where things get complicated, because that isn't the true end. According to the supposed extended cut leak, the final moments don't belong to Claire or Jamie, but to Brianna. She's seen in the modern world, standing before the same stones her mother once vanished through. In her hand, she holds Jamie's medallion, the same one her father once wore into battle. And engraved on the back are fresh words that shouldn't exist in her time. "Every love leaves a mark. Some last forever." This small but powerful ending has fueled hundreds of theories online. Some fans believe Claire and Jamie found a way to live in a different timeline, one where they could be together beyond the reach of history. Others think the show will end on an emotional loop: Claire waking up in a hospital in the 1940s, unsure if it all truly happened, only to find that same medallion resting on her bedside table. A quiet, haunting reminder that love can never truly vanish, not even through time. Adding to the suspense, showrunner Matthew B. Roberts has hinted that the final season won't close the door on the Outlander universe. It will open it wider than ever. That's a deliberate nod toward Blood of My Blood, the prequel that explores the origins of Jamie's parents, Brian Fraser and Ellen Mackenzie. Their love story, according to Roberts, mirrors everything that Claire and Jamie fought for. It's the beginning of the circle, the same bond that runs through every generation of Frasers. That connection means the ending of season 8 won't just feel like goodbye. It'll feel like legacy. And maybe that's the real message hiding behind the rumors and leaks. That Outlander was never just about surviving wars or crossing centuries. It was about the endless reach of love, how it outlives bodies, eras, and even death itself. The story began with a nurse who fell through time. It ends with a woman who understands that time was never her enemy. It was her greatest teacher. As the credits roll in the leaked trailer, the screen fades to a single image: the standing stones at Cray Na Dun. The wind howls. The world is silent. Then, faintly, you hear Jamie's voice again. Sassenach. Claire turns, as if hearing him one last time. The screen cuts to black. The fandom is already calling it the most emotional ending in TV history, a perfect farewell to one of television's greatest love stories. Whether Claire and Jamie's souls are reunited beyond time, or whether their story lives on through Brianna and the next generation, one thing is certain: their love has changed the world of Outlander forever. And so, as season 8 draws near, the weight feels unbearable. We've walked beside them through centuries of love, pain, and loss. Now we're about to see how time itself bows to their story. Because when it comes to Claire and Jamie Fraser, one truth stands eternal: love doesn't just survive history, it creates it.